Hello everyone, welcome to section 1.3 part 4. This is the first of two videos. In this one we're going to be learning about patterns and the different ways we can run it here. I always like to begin by going to my data panel and making sure I'm in the right section, which I'm not. So I'm going to hit these three dots and open up my IED folder. Make a new folder that's called 1.3 part 4 patterns and lofts. And then once it's created, double click on it to open it up and close the data panel. All right, let's begin. So begin by creating a new sketch. Choose the front plane, the XY plane, so that this word shows front. And you're going to create a center rectangle. And we're going to begin by just clicking on the origin and then move your mouse a little bit. I'm going to put 4 on the vertical, 6 horizontal. Remember, you hit tab to go back and forth between those dimensions. That's very important. And press enter. If you accidentally pressed OK too soon, you can always use the sketch dimensions to make these two shapes, because we should be good at that by now. All right, what we're going to do now is create 3 different polygons. So the first one I'm going to make is a pentagon. I'm going to make an inscribed pentagon, so click Create, Polygon, Inscribed Polygon. And I want you to click just somewhere in this general area in between the dashed diagonal line and this little triangle here, and open it up just a little bit. Let's make the this distance, 0.35. Don't forget that decimal point. And press Tab. And I want it to be 5-sided. All right, so 0.35 and a 5-sided figure, press enter. If you press enter too soon, then you might have to make another one in a little bit. All right, let's make a circumscribed hexagon. So go to Create and go to Polygon and Circumscribed. And this time I want us to click anywhere on this diagonal that's perfect. You'll have that dashed line. And let's make this a 0.25 here, and it's a 6-sided figure, which it already was. And press enter. And the last thing I want to do is make an equilateral polygon with each side of 1.25. So go to Create, Polygon, go to Edge Polygon. So you're going to click the first point and move your mouse a little. So I'm just going to click here and move my mouse a little. And I want to type in 1.25. And then I'm going to move my mouse a little bit to the, then I'm going to click. And now I'm going to move my mouse a little bit. And you should see this pops up. And I'm going to type in the number 3. And then you're going to press enter. And this 1.25, I'm going to move that to be below right there. All right, so far I hope we're doing pretty good. It should look something like this. So we're going to make some constraints right now. All right, first thing I want to do is I want to make this lined up horizontal or vertical. So I'm going to click on horizontal vertical, choose the origin, and I'm going to choose this option right there. And then this side, staying with horizontal vertical, I'm going to click on it one time. And now that is horizontal. I'm going to click on this edge right here. That's also horizontal. Now I'm going to go to sketch dimensions. I want the distance from this line to the origin to be 0.5. Okay. And I want the distance from this edge to the middle of my hexagon to also be 0.5. And I want this point right here to be coincident with this diagonal. So right click and either OK or cancel. choose coincident. I'm going to choose this point and then this diagonal line. And then I want to choose any of the other points and this corner right here. All right, so far this is looking pretty good. So our next step is we're going to start using the patterns. So we're going to take this, I'm going to show you how to make a circular pattern. There's 5 of these, we'll make a circle of 5. I'm going to make a rectangular pattern here that's only left and right and up and down. And I'm going to make a diagonal pattern going in this way. So first step I want us to do is let's start with the easiest one, and that's the hexagon. So we're going to create a rectangular pattern. So you're going to go to create and choose rectangular pattern. And objects, you are going to click all 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want you to, we're going to stay in the word extent. I want to left drag, and I'm going to make this negative 1.3 inches. Okay, and then grab the down and start bringing it down. And I want to go down 0.6, but I only want this to be 2 rows. So it'll look something like that. All right. When you are all set, you can kind of take a look over here of what we have. The quantity is 3 going negative 1.3 in that direction, and a quantity of 2 going down 0.6, and press OK. Now, I actually want to get rid of this one. So I'm going to, there we go. I clicked on it so the whole thing is highlighted. Oh. And I'm going to press delete. Oops, object. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now I've deleted that hexagon. That's it. So now we've learned how to make patterns. Rectangular patterns is a very easy one, going right or left and up or down. So the next thing I'm going to do, I want us to pan here, and I want to make a rectangular pattern, but this time I want to go on an angle. So first thing we're going to do is hit create rectangular pattern, and the objects once again are these 3 edges. So there should be 3 objects selected. Then I want you to click on this word direction, and what I want you to do is choose the diagonal line. Now extent means how far is it going to go in total. Here I want to do spacing. How much space do I have between each item? Let's change our quantity to 7. So now I'm going to have 7 of these triangles. And we're going to drag this, and my distance is going to be 0.2 inches. Make sure this quantity is 1, because I only want 1 row of this, and press OK. So we're looking pretty good. I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a little bit, but we can see this pattern of it going on an angle, which is a very tricky thing to do. All right, next I'm going to create a construction line. I'd like you to do the same. So click on that so we have the construction highlighted. Choose the center diameter circle. Click on the origin, and then I want you to click on tangent to this pentagon. And then turn off that construction line. This will tell us that when I make a circular pattern, it's going to go around this circle that I created, which is a really neat little skill set to have. You'd be surprised how often you have to use this. So we're going to go to create circular pattern, and for our objects, just like before, we need to click all 6 edges, all 5 edges of our pentagon. Sorry about that. Then choose center point, and we're going to choose the origin. So distribution is going to be full. I want it to go all the way around. My quantity, I want it to be a quantity of 5. And your design will look something like this. When it does, press Finish Sketch. Now hit the Home button so we can see this a little better. What I'd like us to do is choose the Extrude option. And I want us to extrude 0.25 inches. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and make some of this a little easier to look at. So choose the front, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I want to extrude this, but I don't want to extrude my next V. So then I'm going to go basically every other. So this one can stay open, and then I want to extrude here. So we're filling in these gaps. Okay, and then the last thing. Oops. So it should look like I have just three little arrows pointing in the corner. And that's where we're at. So what we're going to do next, so press OK. And I'm going to hit the house button. What I'm going to do next is practice projecting existing geometry, which we haven't really done much before. So I want us to press Sketch, and I want you to choose on this piece right here. So what we need to do is make sure that the edges of these are also on the front of our piece. So go to Create, Project, and choose Project. Because this is a new sketch, you don't always get the drawings from the original sketch. So what you do is you project them onto our new design. Oh boy. There we go. You might need to zoom in a little better than I did. When you're done, you should have 15 selected. All right. When you have all 15 selected, because 3 times 5 is 15, press OK. And what I want us to do is we're going to use the offset feature. So you can either go modify and hit the word offset, or you could have just hit this button. And we're going to choose that right there, and we're going to hit 0.1. But it's going inwards, so what I'm going to do is flip it so now it's facing outside. Or I could have just typed in negative 0.1. Same thing, I'm going to offset this one right here, 0.1. That's going in the right direction, so I don't need to flip anything. And lastly, offset this one. Same thing, 0.1. All right, now what we're going to do is hit Extrude or Finish Sketch. No. What I'm going to do now is I want to make a fillet before I extrude this. So choose Fillet. And I want you to hold down the Shift button. Or you don't even have to. Just click all of these vertices. Okay, and then I'm going to keep going. 0.2, 0.2. Oh. Keep choosing the vertices. And those who don't remember, a vertex is the intersection of the two lines, not the line itself. So each of these radius is now 0.2 inches, for our fillets. So it should look something like this. And now press Finish Sketch. And I want you to choose Extrude. And I want you to choose these areas right there. And I'm going to want to make the extrusion 0.5. And when you're done, it's going to look something like this. Make sure you save. And I'm going to save this as 1.3.4a patterns. All right, in order to get a pretty good picture, I want us to orbit it just a little bit. So you can have our 5 honeycombs here. The 3 that look like little chimneys, these 2 pentagons that have nothing, and our arrows. If you have that, hit Windows Shift S. Take a screenshot. And go to the Google Classroom. Open up 1.3.4a. And you can see I put a description of what it should look like when it's done. The angles don't have to match, just the way it's made. All right, everybody, that's the end. I hope this helped.